Yo. Y'all know what time it is, man. Y'all know what time it is. It's your boy, Miles Cunningham. It's your boy, Ed Zone. We are here to chop it up. We are here to add to the definition of game. We are here to let you guys know what it is. Today we're going to be talking about, guys got to stop overthinking the game, man. You like the game is not as complicated as you think it is. It's really simple. It's just that sometimes a lot of us are too weak to actually make the decisions we need to make. So therefore we think by overthinking it, we can figure out how to avoid the pain, but there's no way to avoid it, guys. There's no way to avoid it. But you know what it is? My man Ed Zone is here, and I'm gonna let him rock. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, Ed?
Nothing much, man. Like one day at a time. Thanks again for having me. Right. Shout out to the chat. Yes. Like Miles was saying, today's topic is overthinking the game. And when you overthink something, right? Anything, whether it's talking to women, your career, starting a new business, whatever it is you're trying to do. Overthinking is one of the main ingredients to excuses, right? So when you're overthinking things, you create excuses as a way to not do whatever it is that you claim to yourself that you want to do, right? So one of the biggest examples when it comes to overthinking and like approaching women, right? You go, oh, you see a chick that you want to approach, she looks good, you're attracted to her, whatever, but you think of a million reasons why you shouldn't do it. So there's that one part of you that says you should do it, and you got a million excuses over here that says why you shouldn't do it. Oh, she probably is only into ballers. She a bad bitch, so she only likes ballers. Oh, she's out of my league. Oh, she's not going to talk to me. I don't make enough money to talk to her. All that foolishness, right? You stand in your own way, and you get in the way of your own progress. Right. Understand? So when you overthink, you come up with all types of ideas, you come up with all types of terms, and you start joining all types of groups so that you can be with other people who make you feel better about your lack of action, right? There's a phrase called paralysis by analysis for a reason, right? When you overanalyze things, it's like you're bitten by a cobra, and that cobra is that overanalysis. That cobra, right, is that overanalyzing, that overthinking, because cobras, when they bite something, they inject it with a venom that poisons it and paralyzes it, and you just paralyze yourself by overanalyzing that situation, right? One of the biggest internet examples of overthinking is using terms like masculine frame. That's a huge example of overthinking, because you're like, oh, if I do this, will I be in masculine frame? Will I break masculine frame and stuff like that? You start making up all these terms that have nothing to do with real life. You know what I'm saying? Right. You start using terms like hypergamy and all that stuff. That has nothing to do with anything. All you have to do is see somebody you want to approach, go up to her, introduce yourself, tell her why you approached her, and make things happen from there. Right. All right. Overthinking is focusing so much on the potential outcome of what could be that you forget how things should be in the moment, right? So you focus so much on what could be that you forget how things should be in that moment, right? You're so focused on the future that you neglect the present, and because you're neglecting the present and you're so focused on the outcome, let's say you do muster up the courage to actually talk to a chick. Now she throws a curveball at you, as women love to do. Women love throwing them curveballs. Now she throws a curveball in the conversation. And all of a sudden, that's when a lot of guys freeze up. They bring up that famous excuse. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to respond to that. She said something and I froze up. I didn't know what to say. So what do? You end up telling her, have a nice day, and you walk away defeated. Why? Because you were not living in the moment. You were too focused on what could have been and what you wanted the outcome to be. But the crazy part is, even though you're doing all that overthinking, you don't even know what you're gonna do with her if you get her. You understand? It's layers to it, man. It's a lot of layers to this thing.
Facts. I think that guys think that there's a way out of actually finding a solution, or there's a way out of the work. You understand? Like it's like guys overthink shit because at least that's how I feel. I feel like guys overthink shit because they're trying to avoid the work. You understand? It's like they're thinking, how can I get bigger muscles without working out? You know what I'm saying? Right. How can I feel like I'm full without eating? Right? How can I get oxygen to my brain without breathing? It's like
get knowledge without reading.
Yeah, how do I get knowledge without reading? How do I, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do I have how do I, how do I show myself to be a charming dude to a female without actually talking to females? Right. You know what I'm saying? How do I communicate and relate to females without actually communicating and relating to females? It's like that's what these guys are doing. That's why all of these dudes, like, for example, like when guys call up to the show, they're trying to get to what their issue is. But before they actually ask the question or before they actually tell us what's the matter with their situation, they do a lot of prefacing. You understand what I'm saying? They'd be like, oh, well, see, you got to understand that, I met her in a snowstorm on a sunny
day. Themselves.
You know what I'm saying? I met her on the side of a hill, so it was kind of slanted when I actually spoke to her. And then when I met her, it was a crescent moon. And then, by that time, Joe Biden had passed legislation that stopped me from understanding what I needed to do in the situation. Now, so my question is, how do I turn a hoe into a housewife? And then it's like, nigga, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like so much. And it's like, listen, just ask the question. And then we'll ask you, the follow-up questions if we need more context. But most of the time, the game is simple because a lot of times, like for example, I might be controlling the phone lines on the show, right? And when I hear dudes say certain things, and then I ask them a question, and then they start dancing all around the place, I'm already ready to cut them off,
right?
Because I already know that you don't have nothing to add to the conversation.
Right.
You're coming with no type of game. You're only coming with negativity and nonsense. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And I mean, look, I'm not proud to judge somebody like that. But I know game and I know mindset. Why? Because before I understood what I understand now, I was there. You understand? I don't say these things from a twice removed position. You understand? I say these things because I was actually where you were one day. You get what I mean? So I'm not doing it out of disrespect. I'm doing it because I literally see you about to get hit by the train. I'm trying to move you out the way and you don't want to move out the way. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna leave you where you at because I got other people to spit game to who want to hear it. And it's the same way I deal with women. If I'm hollering at a chick and she not feeling me, hey, have a nice day. Take it easy. I'm gonna go holler at this next one. You feel what I'm saying? And that's the type of mindset that a lot of these guys don't have. Because look, for a lot of guys, it's painful to see a girl think she's attractive, go up and talk to her, and not get her.
Yes.
For most of these, it's a pain point for them.
Yes.
So it's hard for them to just let it go and be like, she wasn't feeling it. Let me just move on. Because they take it to heart. They let it affect their ego. They're like, oh my God, how come she wasn't feeling me? My day is ruined now.
Yeah.
Why? Because you got that female on a pedestal up here.
Yeah.
Where if you understood game and you wasn't overthinking it that much, you would realize, look, every chick ain't gonna feel me. So what I got to do is just put in a little bit of extra work. Because it's not about the females. It's about me putting in the work. Because if I put in enough work and I'm not worried about the outcome, what I want is going to come to me. And I always compare it to when guys are on a job hunt. You don't sit there and belly ache over the fact that last job interview didn't go well or that last company didn't call you back.
Right.
If you spend time thinking about the last company and that didn't call you back, you wouldn't be getting ready for this next job interview.
Right.
You wouldn't be getting ready to fill out this next application. You wouldn't be updating your resume, doing what you're supposed to do because you're spending too much time thinking about what didn't happen. You see what I'm saying? So guys get into the statistics. They get into blaming women. They overthink it. They talk too much. Like I said, just like when the guys call in, I'm like, bro, what is the question? Stop trying to give me disclaimers as to why you're fucking up in the game. Listen, you called the show because you're fucking up in the game. Can we be honest?
Right.
So just tell me be like, look, Miles, I'm fucking up in the game and I need your help. This is what it is. Boom. So because the thing is, you wanna, they say the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line.
Straight line. Yeah.
You understand? When you guys overthink the game, you guys are moving all around the place, giving me all these, well, she's Puerto Rican, so she's kind of, and and this happened because listen, you fucking up in the game, ain't you? Yeah, I'm fucking up in the game. Can you give me some help? Because I fucked up. Okay, so this is if you're just straight up and honest and deal with things simply as they are, we could get to the truth, and we could get to the help that you really need. But a lot of you guys don't want to hear it. You guys just want to hear yourself talk while you brace for impact. Like, Miles gonna say some shit I don't like.
And that's the thing too. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like what you said, like ties in beautifully to my next point. Not only do people overthink as a way to give themselves excuses and a way not to act, you got to look at why they're choosing not to act by using those excuses, which is the result of overthinking, right? They use those excuses to protect their ego. Because that ego is soft, man. That ego is fragile. That ego is easily hurt, easily offended, right? So when you overthink a situation and give yourself an out, it's like first I give props to the guys who call, but a lot of the guys who call, and I left a comment on one of your videos the other day, Lucario's videos. I'm like, a lot of the dudes who call up are trying to impress you and Lucario. Right. So they'll say something like, oh yeah, I'm dealing with a side chick right now, and she's the only chick he's dealing with. Or they'll say stuff like, yeah, oh yeah, I cut that chick off when she was actually the one who ghosted him. They'll say all that type of stuff. And then while they're talking, right, it's becoming obvious what the situation is while they talk, right? Because the excuses that they're making start to fall apart as they talk to you. Right. So overthinking is one of the best ways that guys use to preserve their egos, because like we were saying before, a woman saying no to them or getting any type of rejection, a job rejection, whatever it is in life, it not going their way, one of the fastest coping mechanisms people use is excuses and reasons why it didn't go their way that make them look like the good guy in the situation, right? So let's say you see a chick that you think is bad, right? Whatever that means. And you approach her and then you introduce yourself. You say, yo, I think you're attractive. I want to explore that attraction mentally, physically, spiritually, blah, blah, blah. You go up to her and you say all that stuff and she goes, oh, thank you, but I'm good. I'm not interested. Now, in your mind, you're like, oh, maybe my hat was tilted. Oh, maybe my breath wasn't right. Oh, maybe my clothes wasn't on point. Maybe this, and then you start overthinking and trying to justify why she said no. Right. Instead of focusing on the fact that, oh, snap, there's a bunch of other females in this area and there's millions of other women in the world. You're focused on that one chick who said no and over analyzing that situation where it doesn't matter that she said no. All that matters is that she said no. She has poor decision-making skills because she couldn't recognize my value. So now I'm moving on to the next. It's that simple. Like they have the phrase, keep it simple, stupid for a reason. Because the simpler you keep things when you deal with people, the easier it will be to cut people off. When you overthink and give excuses for why people do things that don't align with your program, that gives you reasons to keep them around. You meet a chick and she flakes on you once and doesn't give a makeup date, right? Like she just says, no, sorry, I can't make it. And you're like, you know what? Let me give her another chance. Maybe she was at a goat funeral because her pet goat died. Maybe, her aunt got arrested for selling cocaine and she had to bail her out. Like you start thinking of all these different scenarios in your head to protect your ego, besides the fact that she's just not interested in you. That's the one thing that you don't want to think about, because that means that you got to muster up the courage again to go ahead and approach another chick and then possibly face hearing no again. Whereas this chick actually managed to give you a little bit of the time of day, so you want to hold on to her for dear life, right? And that's the average dude nowadays, because he's in such a and we've talked about this before. We talk about it over and over again. The average male nowadays is in such a scarcity mentality that the first chick to give him any little bit of attention or the time of day, he wants to hold on to her like an octopus, right? He wants to hold on to her. He doesn't want to let her go. And that's a dangerous mentality, because then you'll start tolerating her disrespect, because she's going to start disrespecting you because she sees you don't have no options and she sees you don't respect yourself or your time. So she's going to start talking to you any kind of way. She's going to start showing up late, if she shows up at all, to these supposed meetups she's supposed to have, right? She's going to be flaking on you like crazy. She's going to take days and days and days to respond to your text, if she responds at all, right? And you're just going to sit there and tolerate that because she's your only option. And now in your mind, you're still overthinking, like, okay, there's reason why she's doing that. She's busy. First of all, the average woman is a detective. Average woman ain't that busy. Like, for instance, if a chick like really is into you, she'll just require the slightest bit of information on you, about you, and then she'll just be digging up into your background all day long. She'll be combing your social media, she'll be combing Google, all types of things to look up info about you. They ain't that busy. You know, I have chicks texting me back and forth all day if I let them while they're at work.
Right.
Texting me constantly. I'm there at work doing my thing, and bzz, 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 the phone is constantly buzzing from them, texting me, right? And while they're supposedly at work doing all types of stuff. So
Right.
women are not that busy. So when a woman gives you all these excuses, that's why one of my latest video is like, never listen to a woman's excuses, right? That ties into that overthinking. Because when a woman gives you an excuse why she can't do something, you start trying to justify it in your mind by coming up with excuses for her, right? A lot of these chicks have such little respect for you and your time that they won't even bother coming up with an excuse. They'll just be like, I don't feel like it, right? Or just be like, oh, I can't make it. And you will start filling in the gaps in your mind like, oh, yeah, she could make it because blah, 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 blah. Once again, to preserve that ego. Now, on the flip side, you got the dudes who overthink themselves into paralysis, which was the first point I brought up. And then these guys end up in 6-month droughts, a year-long drought, 2-year-long droughts, 3-year-long droughts, right? Where they're not talking to or dealing with any females whatsoever, but they're on. And to cope with that, they start using red pill YouTube as therapy. They start using the manosphere as therapy to cope with the fact that they don't have the courage, and it don't take no courage to approach a woman. That's ridiculous. But the fact that they don't have it within themselves to just approach a woman and try to make something out of nothing, right? That's why you have that whole talk about I'm on my purpose. That's why you have that whole talk about, you know, once I get on my purpose and that money start coming, the women will start coming too, as if money is some type of magnet and is just going to draw them to you, right?
Right.
So I would say I would put an asterisk on the overthinking thing, because even though it doesn't matter why a woman says no to you, it does matter sometimes why a woman says yes. Sometimes you want to have a little bit of understanding why she's choosing you, right? Is she really choosing you or is she using you? You want to be able to differentiate between that. So that's where critical thinking will come in handy.
Right.
But at the same time, you don't want to overanalyze every single situation, because when you're overanalyzing, that's when you start over talking. And this is something I've done many times in the past. I've talked myself out of so much pussy. Like I've talked myself out of so much, because there's times when my mind is just be like connecting things and just going like my mind sometimes is like a hamster on a wheel. So sometimes me in the past, you know, I've done it a lot. I've talked way too much, right? Because I was thinking too much and I was blabbering everything that was happening in my mind, to the point where the chick went from like, I could visibly see the interest in her face declining as the conversation went on. She'd be like, the conversation went like, when the conversation first started, she was like, oh, hey, how are you? Yeah, my name is Susie, so-and-so. And then as the conversation went, she was like, and then her eyes started drifting away, and then she's like looking like she's trying to leave the conversation and stuff like that. And in my mind, I'm like, oh shit, another one, right? DJ Khaled, another one, right? So you would see that happening. So it's like, keep it simple. The game dealing with women and dealing with life in general is much simpler than we give it credit for, right? You first start off with giving yourself rules and giving yourself an agenda for how you interact with people, right? So you have a program, and when you deal with a woman, you say, if she does A, B, and C, we can keep dealing with each other. If she does X, Y, and Z, she's out the door.
That's it.
But it's too many guys, because they overthink and make excuses for her behavior. What do they end up doing? They end up seeing some chick. Okay, here's my favorite one. The chicks who go, oh, I don't kiss on the first date. Or, oh, no, I want to wait to have sex, you know, maybe 2-3 months. And then you have the guys who go along with that, right? So they'll go along and they'll wait 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 dates before she gives them a kiss on the cheek. And then in his mind, because he's overthinking and he's not keeping things simple, as in saying, this chick really does not like me. No, he's not thinking like that. He's overthinking, oh, maybe she's religious. Oh, maybe her parents raised her a certain way. Oh, maybe she really does want to wait. Oh, maybe she's scared of diseases. Because I hear people saying that, oh, there's diseases out here. You don't want to be kissing these chicks, blah, blah, blah. So he starts thinking of all of that. And next thing you know, she's his girlfriend. Next thing you know, he promotes her to girlfriend status when she did not earn it, right? And she's still not doing anything for him. Now she's still telling him, oh, there we go. Cue the laugh track, right? Now he's still Now she's still saying, "Oh, you got to take me out to dinners. A real man pays for this. A real man will get my hair done. A real man will get my nails done. A real." Meanwhile, she hasn't spent a penny on him. Never bought him a gift. Never done nothing for him. Never even made Kraft box macaroni and cheese for this dude. And he's still taking her to all these dinners, steakhouses, blah blah blah. Next thing you know, he gets down on one knee talking about, "Will you marry me?" So now she's his fiance. This same chick that made him wait 3 months because she was not that into him, right? Now she's his fiance. And now that he's spending all this, he's spending 10 grand plus on a ring for a chick who don't deserve it. Now he's shelling out thousands and thousands of dollars for some extravagant wedding where all eyes will be on her because she wants the wedding and not the marriage. Now, a year after that, he gets married to this chick, right? Now he gets married to this chick after a year after the engagement. And now all of a sudden, the little sparse sex that she was giving him, that little sparse starfish sex that she was giving him when she just laid on her back and took it and waited for him to finish, now that's only happening once a month, right? And now he's calling up you and Locario talking about, "Man, I got this girl and she switched up on me." Now he's calling the red pill channels and in the comments of these red pill channels talking about, "Man, these chicks will switch up on you, man. She didn't switch up on you for shit. She was that way from the beginning, but because of your hamster wheel and overthinking and making excuses for her not doing what you want to do and not fitting into your weak program, right? Because you were making all these excuses for her, you went along with her program. And now you're married to a woman who don't like you. And now if you go through with that divorce, it's going to be costly and you're going to be regretting it, right? So all of that can happen, and all of that happens to men every day. Every single day.
Bro.
Most men in the world right now, not just the Western world, because this mentality is worldwide. Most men in the world right now are married to women who do not love or respect them or even like them.
Right.
Jesus. So because of that, you have dudes out here talking about, "Man, me and my wife haven't slept together in 2 months. My wife, she going on a girls trip to Jamaica again this year." Right? And every time your wife comes back from that girls trip, she's walking funny. And you're like, "Honey, you all right?" She's like, "Yeah." And she has unexplained pains, right? And she's waddling now. And like, you weren't waddling before you went on the trip, honey. What happened? Because some dude named Dexter was up in them guts, right? But because these guys refuse to keep things simple and go, if she wants what I want, she stays. If she doesn't want what I want, she goes. Because they have that scarcity mentality and will give chicks a million chances they don't deserve, they create a life of misery for themselves. Right? There's a series I used to read called A Series of Unfortunate Events by Lemony Snicket, which isn't his real name. I think his real name is like Michael something or whatever. But one quote that stands out from that series is, "He who hesitates is lost." When you hesitate to evacuate a chick out your life, you are lost. Because had you been kept things simple and kicked that chick out of your life the way you were supposed to, a chick who actually was enthusiastic for you and about you could have moved into your life and you would have been happy. Not happy because you had a woman, but happy because you're not butting heads with this chick all the time, right? You say, "Hey, let's do this," or "We're going to do this." And she goes, "Okay, what should I wear? What should I do? What do you want me to add to the situation?" That's how it's supposed to be. Easy and simple. Keep it simple.
I wanted to say that and I appreciate your entire scenario, because really that stuff happens to men all the time. You understand? And I'm sure there's men that hear this and they're gonna be like, "This nigga just explained my whole life. Now I'm married to this chick. I don't know what to do." But anyway, one thing I want to say too about the overthinking is that I think one aspect of the whole overthinking situation is that guys. Okay, so we understand that there's three parts of manifestation, right? There's thought, words, and action.
Action, yeah.
Right. But see, the thing is, the safest place in the manifestation process is thought, because we have the ability to think up anything we want to think.
Yeah.
You understand? And as long as we're thinking, that means we don't have to talk and we don't have to do.
To act.
We don't have to act. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So we're it's like, because, we know nowadays everybody's looking for a sanctuary. Everybody's looking for a safe space.
Safe space.
Everybody wants to be accepted, and everybody wants to, you understand what I'm saying? Everybody wants
Miles,
to
stop yelling at me. Stop.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody wants to feel accepted and beautiful, and everybody's a butterfly and a snowflake. But see, the thing is, most guys, they stay in their brains. They stay inside their heads. So like you said, the guys, they come up with all these excuses for the women. Like the woman is standing there outright disrespecting them.
X.
And they're literally, they're in their own mind.
Yeah.
Coming up with excuses like, oh, well, maybe she comes from a house where that's just how her mother and father talk to each other. Who am I to say something, negative about how she was raised? You understand? Right. So I'm gonna chill because it's not a big deal because she's so attractive. She's a baddie. You understand? So I'm gonna just let it slide and so on and so forth. And they stay in their brain, bro. They stay in here because it's safe.
Yeah.
Because if they actually said to themselves, like you said, if they made it simple, wait, if she's talking to me like this, then either she's getting charged or I'm gonna have to check her.
Right.
That's action. Right. Charging a bitch or checking her is action. And that's action that a lot of guys don't have the stomach to do. They don't have the stomach to execute these types of actions because they're afraid they might lose the chick. They're afraid that they're not going to have access to vagina. They're afraid that they're not going to be able, the next time they go chill with their boys and they say, yo, so how's your girl? They got to say, damn, I had to charge it to the game, bruh. You lost the girl? Oh, snap. That's crazy. Oh, what happened? She was a baddie too. You lost her? Damn, son, what'd you do? You fucked up. Yeah. If you had friends that understood game, once you say to your mans and them that understand game, I had to charge it to the game, they won't even ask you any extra questions. They'll be like, well, nigga, you had to charge her, whatever. Because real dudes who understand game don't put women on pedestals. Right. You understand? So if my homeboy come to me, like if Lucario come to me, and I'm like, yo, what's up with that girl you was talking to the other day? And he says, oh, I had to charge her to the game. After he say that shit, I don't even remember her fucking face, bro.
Right. Exactly.
Because she's not important. Now, if he says to me, if I say, yo, what happened to that chick you was hollering at the other day? Be like, oh yeah, she's still in the vetting process. I'm having her, send out emails so we can get more people on the Bad Boy membership. That's when I'll actually think about her in a different light, if anything. Right. You get what I'm saying? Because now she's actually becoming a benefit to the situation. Right. But once my homeboy says I had to charge it to the game, you think I'm gonna be sitting there talking about, oh man, she was bad too, bro. She was the baddie, bro. She was like a dime, bro. Blah, blah, blah. She don't get no more time. Right. Because if you saw that she needed to get charged, that's it. She's done. Exactly. You understand? No, there's no pedestalization over here. Because just as easy as they come is as easy as they go. And nobody who understands, no man who understands game is all up in his brain. A man who understands game. See, the thing with manhood is that we have thought, we have words, and we have action. But we're never afraid to go from thought to action. Why? Because once we make a decision, we ride with the decision. And any obstacles that come up as a result of that decision is just another problem for us to solve. Yep. And that's what men do. We're not afraid to make a decision. We're not afraid to deal with the obstacles and challenges that come with the decisions that we've made. You understand? Because we're men. We are men. That's what we do. We make a decision and we move forward. That's what it's about, progress. When you sitting there overanalyzing and you staying in your brain, like you said, the overanalyzation leads to stagnation. You're standing still. There's no progress. But when you're a man, you realize, look, I gotta make a decision. I make a decision. I'm either gonna go left or I'm gonna go right. Mm-hmm. If I go, and the crazy part about life is that no matter what decision you make, bro, it's gonna be issues. Right. Because everything you do gonna have pros and cons. So what's the point in staying stagnant? Mm-hmm. What's the point? Make a decision. Go left, go right. Either way, you're going to have issues and problems. Right. Either way. I mean, it's going to be good things and it's going to be bad things. But the bottom line is you're a man. So After you make the decision, you say to yourself, okay, well, this is the decision I've made. Now I have to deal with that decision. You understand? So if I have to, if a chick start talking sideways to me and I have to charge it to the game, then hey, if that means then for the next couple weeks I'm gonna be without some pussy, then it is what it is. All I know is I'm gonna be talking to new females from that point on. You get what I'm saying? But so many dudes is like, oh, bro, you mean I gotta charge it to the game? I gotta give up the pussy. I gotta give up having a chick to go out on dates with. Oh man, bro, I don't want to do that because she's a baddie, bro. She, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, it's like, bro, listen. If you choose to stay with her, she's gonna continue to disrespect you. But if you charge it to the game, at least you keep your self-respect. At least you're doing what you want to do.
Exactly.
But then again, there's so many guys that don't even care about what they really want because they're worried about what the chick wants. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Yes. Yeah. Like
I'm gonna let you have the last word because it's about that time.
No doubt.
Yeah.
What you said, it goes in. Okay, so it goes into to a point that I just thought about, right? When you have these guys overthinking to the point where they're afraid to make a move, it's because failure is terrifying to them, right? Because they look at failure the wrong way. They don't see failure as a lesson that they can learn from. They don't see failure as a lesson to learn and a callus on them that will make them stronger and tougher for the next time, right?
Right.
They see failure as the worst thing in the world. They see failure once again as a blow to the ego. So in their minds, a woman saying no to them, that's a huge failure. Now, when they finally muster up, I put that in quotation marks because it don't take no courage to talk to a woman. Like that's ridiculous, right? In fact, on a side note, I've been mad at myself for not charging certain females soon enough. Like I've charged them, and I'm like, damn, it took me way too long to charge that chick. I should have charged her way sooner, yo. Way sooner, yo. Like, damn, like there have been chicks I've gone on dates with, and in my mind, I'm like, yo, I shouldn't even. This chick should not have even had the grace of my presence, yo. I fucked up, right? So I use that as a lesson because, yeah, that was a little failure, but I use that as a lesson to be smarter the next time, right?
Exactly.
So these guys are so afraid of failure and so afraid to lose one because they could go a month, 2 or 3 months before they have another one, right? That they see all of that as a failure and they're terrified of that. So they're like, I would rather be comfortable in an uncomfortable situation than have no situation at all. Right. And then so then when they have this analysis and they have all this thinking and all this thinking and all this thinking, like I said again, that's when they start using YouTube as therapy. That's when they start not only living in their heads, like you said, but they start living on the internet. Right. You have all these dudes out here talking about, like, especially a lot of dudes who listen to certain YouTubers who got a lot of subscribers. They'll be quick to say, "Oh, these women gonna die alone. We better invest in cat stocks and you better invest in cat food because they're gonna need a lot of cats and they're gonna have a lot of dogs." Dude, you're heading for the same fate. You're gonna die alone too because you're so in your head and you're so busy focusing on all the females you don't want. Man, I don't want no single mom. I don't want no fat chick. I don't want this and that. You so focused on all the chicks that you say you don't want that you don't leave no room for the ones you do want. And then when you out and about going to work and on the street and all that stuff, and you see the ones you do want, what do? And I've mentioned this before. Instead of going up to her and telling her you find her attractive and you want to escalate and build on that attraction, what do you do instead? You look at some other dude who's on the street, like, and you look at him like, and you look at the other dude, and you and the dude are looking at each other like, right? So now you have a new friend, you have a new buddy, but that chick that you was attracted to, now she's walking on about her business and you will never see her again, right? And that's one of the dangers of overthinking.
Facts.
Keep it simple.
Yes, sir. Fellas. Yes, sir. All right, man. Look, so you know what it is, Ed, man. Tell them about what you got going on, man.
No doubt. So once again, you could subscribe to my YouTube channel as Edzone, EDDZONE. Help me get to 1,000 subscribers. Like I said before, once I get to 1,000 subscribers, I'm gonna do an appreciation video because I can't do this without you guys. I appreciate y'all taking the time out of your day to watch me as I continue my journey in life and I continue to learn and grow and build as a man. So appreciate each and every one of you who've subscribed. And, you know, I'm saying, like, all the ones who want to subscribe, feel free to. I appreciate it. I'm going to make that 1,000 subscriber appreciation video and give away free goods to the first 3 people to comment on that video. So help me get to 1,000 subscribers, man. Appreciate you guys. Oh, and of course, I got normal brands where, You could get these snapbacks. Loyalty is royalty. Hustle builds mental muscle. T-shirts, all of that stuff. You could check that out too.
Yeah, he got dope masks too. He got, you know, for those.
Yeah,
of you,
Miles got a mask for me, son, and you
yeah,
should get one for
I
your
got a
girl
set of
too.
masks, and they come with you know, the
Filters.
inserts with the
Yeah,
filters
the
and shit.
filters, yeah.
Yeah, it's dope. It's dope. So yeah, man. Yeah, man. Shout out to you for the hustle game. Shout out to you for giving us your time and spitting the real words with us. You know what I'm saying? Chopping it up.
Okay.
And guys, always remember, you know, we got the Bad Boy membership. You know what I'm saying? We got the Game Kings documentary. Go to mrlucario.com. Go to badboymembership.com and make sure y'all support that situation. Also, we got the, you know, Mr. Lucario YouTube channel. We got the Miles Cunningham YouTube channel. So just keep supporting, man. And as long as y'all supporting, we'll be here to give y'all the game and to make sure that you ain't one of those dudes that we was talking about in the scenario. All right.
Right.
So it's your boy Miles Cunningham. It's your boy Ed Zone, and we are out of here. Peace to everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us in the chat. Shout out to True Savage. Shout out to Unique 79. Peace. And
you got the link. You got the YouTube link in the chat.
They put it in earlier.
Oh, okay, got you.
Yeah, True Savage put it in earlier at like 8:02 earlier.
Respect, True Savage.
Yeah, man. All right. So y'all take it easy and always remember the truth is inside you, people. Peace.